My name is Mary Wilson Wheelock, and I am the Executive Director of the ALS Association Northern Ohio Chapter. ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. In the U.S., it is commonly referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease, and worldwide it is known as motor neuron disease. ALS is characterized by a progressive degeneration of motor neurons. As motor neurons degenerate, ALS patients experience the loss of muscle function, resulting in the inability to perform tasks most take for granted. Life expectancy for an ALS patient is 3 to 5 years. The ALS Association works diligently to help patients and families navigate the devastating path that this disease causes.
The ALS Association, they encourage you to get out and about, and will go out of their way to find equipment that you need. We were out of town in Washington, D.C., and made contacts for us with their association there to have a scooter delivered to the hotel and picked up, after we were finished with it. It was a absolute no worry sort of situation. But they're so positive, they're so upbeat, they're so encouraging. Oftentimes you get folks that say, "Oh, how are you?" Family might say, "Oh, how are you going to accomplish that?" But I feel like with the ALS Association, they're helping you find ways to help yourself.
We relied quite a bit on the ALS Association all the way through my mom's illness, from the very first time that we felt she had an official diagnosis, all the way until, well, even now we still try to keep in contact with the association.
The educational meetings, I refer to them as my support group. It's just patients, and sometimes their family members come too, and we can discuss some problems we're having, or we can give each other ideas. And I think it's important to go to these meetings because unfortunately we tend to get new members every meeting, and they usually have a lot of questions that those who have been coming for a long time can help them with.
The Northern Ohio Chapter, which serves 32 counties, offers programs and services designed specifically for ALS patients, their families, and caregivers. As muscles weaken, equipment is needed to provide the best quality of life, but it can be costly. For this reason, we operate an equipment loan closet, which includes wheelchairs, lifts, ramps, communication devices, basically everything an ALS patient might need to stay mobile and connected.
The equipment loan program that we used through the ALS Association was really beneficial for my mom all the way through her stages of illness. Probably the largest thing they helped us with was the loaning of a power wheelchair, and then the eye gaze communication system that we used.
The lending closet provides families with equipment that maximizes the quality of life while minimizing the burden on the family.
The loan closet has things that I didn't know existed, particularly when my wife would sit in her chair and she would have to get up to go to bed or go to the bathroom or do anything to get out of her chair. I would stand her up and turn her and put her in the wheelchair and take her wherever it was she had to go. But just that little bit of movement of turning her was an effort. And I was thinking, I need something like a turntable or a Lazy Susan or something in that nature, and the loan closet had it.
They have been important in my life because they have a loan closet. They've lent me much equipment over the years, and they can answer any questions you have about anything. They're really good about that.
They have things that you don't even know exist, that you hope exist, and you find out they in fact do exist. And then in the ensuing time, I was able to take their product that they supplied with us, and I made another one. And as it was my wife's wishes to donate the eye gaze system, she also wanted that to go to somebody that could get some use out of it. So the loan closet is not just wheelchairs and technological devices. I'm sure they have a lot of treasures in there that help people that are afflicted with this awful disease, and you just have to ask them, and if it's there, they'll certainly make it available to you.
Our chapter is committed not only to the patients, but the families and caregivers in particular.
My husband Joe makes a point of not missing any of the caregiver meetings. You know, it's just such a wonderful opportunity to welcome in new patients, families, and help them with, help each other, really. I think it's very encouraging for him to know that others are going through similar difficulties. It makes it easier.
When we first were connected with the ALS Association, they told us about the respite program that they offer, and it's supposed to help you get a few hours throughout the month where maybe you can have someone come in and stay with your loved one so you can go out and get a haircut or, do maybe whatever you need to do.
I just think the caregiver meetings are a great source of support, a great source of, they're helpful. He comes back, kind of rejuvenated after them.
Going to Advocacy Day in Washington is important to me because our congressmen get a face and a story with the disease and not just information about the disease. I think our personal stories are very important. In the past, we've been asking for money for the ALS registry that they just enacted a few years ago, and they're always behind us on that.
All of these programs are funded through private support. A significant portion comes from our events, like the Strikeout ALS Gala and Auction and the Walk to Defeat ALS.
This illness is an impossible illness to deal with, and they make the impossible possible.
As Bob Feller would attest, Lou Gehrig was not an easy man to strike out. But together we will strike out ALS.